I have. They're all very well. I have 3 generations living there, my mother, my sister and my nephew. And they're all treating the crisis at from different points of view.
And how are they treating it? What are they actually doing?
Well, today my mother basically has decided she needs to stock up on rice and gas, and they've been to work and come home early and got various groceries ready to just sit it out.
And are they fearful?
I would say they're uncomfortable, but not fearful. We've been through this before. It's tense. It's not entirely clear.
In 81, the last...
In 81,
before
right.
The, yeah.
And it's not entirely clear what will happen, but I think we have, at least they have some confidence that the Senegalese will come in and help sort it out.
It's interesting because, of course, now all eyes are on the Gambia, but of course you've been living with this president for a very long time. What's it been like?
It's an odd mix because basically loads of things have been happening under the radar that have been terrible. So you hear of people who have had plastic melted on their genitals in prison. You've heard of people disappearing and journalists just not turning up for work the next day. So there's all this against the backdrop of a president who has also done things like spread water. So basically there have been new wells for potable water throughout the country. So there's this mix of absolute control with doing a few things for development, but not enough to make people become independent of you.
Now, this idea that he said that if Allah wills it, he would rule for 1 billion years, he's clearly digging his heels in. What will shift him? Who will shift him? Will it be the Nigerians? Will it be the Senegalese? Who will shift him? Loads
of things are happening all at once. His ministers are deserting him, so his centre of support has drained away. Essentially, what will shift him now is military force.
But we heard this morning that at least the top brass in the army were supporting him, but you think they're not supporting him?
No, it's not entirely true, because different parts, they're basically 2 factions. This is according to my family, of course. There's basically 2 factions in the army. There's the soldiers who kind of rejoiced at the news of the election, and there's some who have stayed loyal. There are reports that soldiers are ditching their uniforms in the street, so there's piles of uniforms being found, because the Gambia is a small place, so soldiers have family members, so everybody's related to somebody else, and eventually it does come through to you too, that you have a personal choice, and I think some of those soldiers are making the choice that they'd rather not continue to support him at this moment.
You know, ECOWAS, the nations of West Africa, have actually acted very quickly. Now, why is it so critical for them to get a hold in the Gambia?
Essentially, the Gambia is this test case. We've had coups and counter-coups in West Africa for a long time. And we now have this season of, since the war in Cote d'Ivoire, we have had elections in Nigeria and Ghana. We've had successful elections and successful and peaceful changes of power. In the Gambia, there's never been one single successful peaceful change of power since I was born. So it's time to make that happen.
Thank you very much indeed.